we had faculty guest, special guest from Italy, from United States, from China, and this guy from Taiwan and Vietnam. It's many different countries. So we had guests. It's a very nice activities. In 2009, our group went to Las Vegas to attend the IFED together. And at that time, my mentor, Dr. Thomas, invited all the speakers in that meeting, including Dennis Turner and Frank Spears and David Garber, and we enjoyed the dinner together. The last year, no, not last year, in 2010, we went to Serengeti, Tanzania. So in the daytime, we enjoyed the safari and the animals by plane and trucks. So we saw almost every kind of animals at the time. So it was very unusual, they said. We were very lucky. But in the evening, we studied. After dinner, sometimes we studied later, midnight, more than midnight. Dr. Yancy Propensiency, he is Vice President of UCLA. He always encourages us to study more and more. So at the last day of 2010, faculty symposium, so we went to the Ongoro crater. It was very awesome. And in the crater, kind of animals live together. And with the Mirror Dental Hospitals, at the same year, in 2002, we opened the Magazine Implant Company together. And I will talk about our concept of implants later, but I'd like to show this X-ray first. So this patient was treated by me in 1996. See? And even after 15 years, she used these implants very well, and she take care of the prosthetics and the peri-implant tissue very nicely to keep the peri-implant tissue healthy. But yes, the result was very nice. But about 10 years later, the X-ray changed to this. Can you find the difference? In that years, until 1995, in Korea we had only two different kind of implants in diameters, 3.75 and 4mm only. 4mm implant was wide implants. 3.7 was regular implants. But to make better initial stability and to make strong implants, we should use the longest one we can use. See how long the implant is. But in 2004, after magazine, we made different type of implants according to the size and the shape of the tooth. Every tooth has different shape, different diameter, different lengths, according to their locations. Why we have to use same shape, same size of implants? That was our concept. So it changed to this. And every surgery became very simple, much more simple than this kind of implants. I will talk later why we developed so many different type of implants. And every year we have international implant symposiums. Since 2000, we had the seventh annual international symposium in Seoul under the topic of minimally invasive surgery and aesthetics and implant treatment. And we had almost 1,000 guests, so full of dentists in the lobby. And we had many foreign speakers It's from US, from Europe, and all around the world. Dr. Karin Bugs from Harvard University, Yakoti from Italy, and Dr. Smiler from Los Angeles, Dr. Thomason from UCLA, Pietro Pellice from Italy also. So everybody loved their the presentations. This year, and last year, 2011, so we had 8th annual symposium in Milan, Italy. As you know, Milan is a very famous city for fashions. And we had 16 speakers on the main podium, so including Yuli Glunders. And we had 500, almost 500 attendees from more than 20 countries in Europe. So the room was filled with dentists, and all of them attended to the end. This was good, very nice. Professor Anne Venaber was the starter of the presentation. She was very famous for the surface treatments. She works at Sweden, Göteborg University. And Tiziano Testori, Marco Esposito, and Thomason, Yuri Grunder, and Pietro Pellice, Roberto Pistilli. All of them are very famous worldwide. Dr. Chris Chen from Taiwan, Dr. Che, Professor Chen developed this guided surgery techniques. It's becoming more and more popular in Korea. I also gave presentation, and the old booth was made digitally, not just simple exhibitions. So everything we made with the touch screens. So even the poster session was made with the digital technology. Everybody loved it. In the evening, we had very fun activities. As this castle, no, not castle, the cathedral was Santa Maria Cathedral in Milan. As you see, it's a very, very beautiful cathedral. The most famous thing in this cathedral is Da Vinci's Last Supper. See, this is wallpaper, and one word beyond this famous painting, we had a dinner, very, very expensive. We invited 50 friends, famous speakers, to this special dinner. And at the last day, we had the farewell dinner together. As you see, there are a lot of cathedrals to lend their space for the event. So we invited almost 250 guests to this group, to this event. And at the symposium, we had a tour to Sicily. It's a very nice place also, very memorable place. So why I'm showing you this kind of slide to you? Is to give you some confidence of our systems. In our Mir Dental Hospital, as I mentioned, we have 21 Mir clinic in Korea, and they are spending more than 5,000 implants every month. Every month, 5,000. So if we have something wrong with our implant systems, we will have a disaster. So, and whenever they have something to be improved, they give us feedbacks immediately, so we can change before we have the kind of disasters. So this year, And so we will have a ninth international symposium in Jeju Island of Korea, under the name of, under the topic of the state of art in implant dentistry. So, and we are still we have this website now, so you can join with us. As Jeju Island is very near from me, not far from Hong Kong, like Europe and America. So we will invite the kind of similar level of world famous speakers to this symposium. So I try to start my main presentations. So Dr. Hu he presented, gives you a lecture about the implant complications. So from advanced surgical techniques to the management of peri-implantitis and the fractures. So we need to minimize, we should be able to minimize those kind of complications. So we have to know how to handle soft tissues, how to handle hard tissues, and how to choose implant system according to the patient situations. The implant system we are using now are developed to be placed to the adequate bone density, adequate amount of alveolar ridge. So we should have similar conditions to have a good result. But patient is different. Every patient is different. So some patient has a very thin ridge. We should use GBL, bone augmentation techniques, so including ridge split techniques and bone augmentation techniques, autogenous bone or genital graft. And sometimes some patient has very soft bone, some patient has very hard bone, some patient has adequate bone. So I think in my mind, about 20 to 30% of our patients has a difficult situations. The other case, you can use whatever implant systems. The most important thing in implant dentistry is, I think, is implant positions. If you can place implants at the adequate positions, occlusive, epicoronally, mediodistally, three-dimensionally, if you place implants at the adequate position, so you will have much less complications. So this is one of the implant systems we developed for the last 10 years. But I love this very much, especially on the maxillary cases. So this can be how it can work and how we thought to develop these implants. I'd like to show you. And what is our ultimate goals in implant dentistry? It should be minimally invasive and more efficient. Everybody wants to have less invasive surgeries. That means less surgery, less trauma. Can you a little bit dim down to the right? And less complications and less morbidity. More efficient means faster, simpler, and faster, and better aesthetics, and more preservative, and better function. If you can have this kind of result, this kind of procedures, so everybody will be happy. Not only us as dentists. So, how we can have this kind of surgery? So I can introduce only 3 typical examples. There are a lot of surgical techniques and prosthetic techniques, as you know. So you can use any kind of surgical techniques as you want. But if you can handle these 3 simple examples, so you can do minimally invasive and more efficient surgeries on your patients. What is these 3 typical examples? The first one is immediate placement. So nowadays, nobody wants to wait to have a healed ridge. We can place implants immediately after extractions. But it depends on the situation, as you know. So compared with the delayed approach, immediate placement can have these advantages: less surgery to better functions. The second one I can show you will be immediate loading. If you can do immediate loading in any case, in every case, so we can have this kind of advantage again. What's the last? I think it's shoulder implants. Nowadays, many speakers start to say about the shoulder implant, the efficiency of shoulder implants. In the past, everybody wants to build up the reserve the ridge to the normal conditions as better as possible. But it's not easy to ordinary dentists, and it's not easy to patients also. It costs too much. It takes too long, too many, and too much morbidity also. But if you can use shoulder implants, we can have really many advantages. It's very simple and very efficient, very fast, and very aesthetics compared with the reaugmentation and long implants. So, immediate placement, immediate loading, and shoulder implants can give us minimally invasive and more efficient implant treatments. Immediate placement, we are doing these surgeries in many cases, especially on anterior and premolar area, because the socket is really good enough. The size of socket is really good for the immediate placement. The gap at the placement of implants will be only 2 to 3 millimeter. It's adequate space also. So, in the anterior and premolar area, there's nobody have doubt about the efficiency, the success rate of immediate placement. And how about molar? Molar. Because of the size of sockets, it was not easy to make initial stability. Sometimes nerve is just beneath the sockets. So it's very difficult to make initial stability. So what can we do? I usually place the 2 implants into each socket. It was good. I can charge twice instead of 1 implant, right? So I can make more money, but eventually it's not our idea. So we developed these implants, rescue implants, to be used in the extraction sockets, molar extraction socket especially. The rescue implants start from 6 to 8. It was the first implant system, so which has this kind of used diameters. But nowadays, we developed this in 2004, and nowadays most implant company in the world copied our concept because it was very simple. Just enlarge the diameter can solve many difficult situations. I can show you one critical cases. Okay, so we tried to save these tooth with the periodic surgery and application treatments, and we made crowns like this to make to let the patients clean the teeth. But patient continued to complain about the pain on chin. So we decided to take it out and replace with implants. So after extractions, we made a small holes. Okay, it's already there is a big hole because of huge root, big root. So we placed the 6.5 millimeter rescue implants immediately after surgery, after extraction, and then this is one of our concepts of healing abutments. So commercial healing abutment is just a round. It's not fit on the extraction socket. So we sometimes, whenever we have time, we make the individual customized healing abutments like this. You can use the temporary cylinder and composite resin to make a perfect fit on the extraction sockets. Very easy. And then you will have a really nice gingival contours. It's very, very beautiful. So this kind of papillary gingiva and buccal gingiva cannot withstand longer if they don't have a tooth or artificial structures to be able to live. So, as a customized healing abutment is very, very useful, especially in this case. And same on the anterior area. So only 2.5 months later, so already the socket was filled with new bone, and the integration was almost finished. So immediate after extraction, immediate placed. 2.5 months later, gingiva was perfect, and the osseointegration was almost finished. We can start prosthetic procedures from this month, only 8 weeks, 10 weeks later. And temporary first, and then finish the case with the ceramic gold crown. So you see, the papillary gingiva was perfect. So these are X-rays, and then it's just a simple enlargement of diameters can simplify the immediate placement into molar extraction sockets. Of course, those molar extraction sockets should have sound bone tables on the crest. And immediate loading, yes, this is one of the hot topics nowadays. Not now, from 15 years before. Mandible and the fully dentures area is very easy to do. Not very complicated, if we can control the occlusion force. So, placement, I usually place 6 to 8 implants on the fully dentures mandible and place in the temporary crown immediately, whenever I have excellent initial stability. And we have statistics, some of these techniques, immediate loadings, from 1993 to 1997, 100 cases, including not only on the mandibular fully dentures case, just we included partially dentures case on the mandible. And about overall survival rate was 95%. It was good in this area, in these years, 1995. At that time, there was many controversies on the techniques. But already we had 95% of survival rate. It was good. But we thought again, if we did delayed approach, delayed loading, conventional loading after integrations, how much survival rate we can have? So we thought, our group thought, yes, it might be almost 99% or more. Because to be able to have immediate loading, every condition should be perfect. No bone defects, excellent initial stability, really nice distribution of implants. So, never have failures. So why we have to lose 5%? And we had some problem on the maxillary arch and partially dentures cases. Like this. Can we immediate loading in this case? Mandibular teeth were very strong. And look at the angulation of implants, AnyRidge. It's very stiff. Right? So it can make extraordinary occlusion force on these implants, immediate place. And the bone density was not good enough. Just I was able to make initial stability. Can we do immediate loading? But patient wants to have a temporary crown immediately. What can we do in this case? That was our challenge at the time. Well, instead of immediate loading on the main implants, we designed intermezzo implant systems, which can support temporary implants and temporary bridges in 2003. When after finishing to set up the company, this was the first implant system we developed, just temporary implants. And we placed the main implants, eight main implants on the mixture, and between the main implants, we placed the 4 temporary implants. So like this. We can smudge all the main implants that would be disturbed with the occlusion force. And then we deliver temporary crown immediately. Sometimes those temporary implants can be disintegrated with the heavy occlusion force, but no problem. We can take it out and replace with a bigger one. That's why we developed the 4 different kind of diameter on the intermezzo implants. So we can start from narrow one, so easily. Whenever patients feel discomfort, we can take out and place new one without any drilling. Continue to use the temporary crown. And then finish the case. See? So the bone level on the mandible, the main implants was very stable because those implants had no occlusion force at all until it has perfect osseointegrations. That was one of our concepts. And short implants. So, what kind of surgical technique you are using on these patients? Patient has only 60 millimeter bone under the sinus. What do you want to do? So usually, I did the sinus bone graft. Of course, sinus bone graft is not very complicated surgical techniques to me. So I can do sinus bone graft and then place implants in 20 minutes. Very easy to do. But sometimes patients had not enough healthy. I was not enough healthy to have those kind of advanced surgeries. And I found many cases. Patient has a very wide reach instead of limited height. That was our idea. Why? We have to use the height only. We can utilize the width also. If we can increase the diameter of implants, yes, we can make more surface areas to be integrated with bone. Why we have to use narrow and long implants, especially in this case? So that's one of the other idea of less implants. So as you see, look at the diameter of the ridge width of the case. So after trepanations with the 5 millimeter in diameter, still patient has a very wide buccal and lingual bone. In this case, you don't need to use sinus bone graft. Just make a trephine and place shorter implants. No longer than 6 millimeter, no longer than 7 millimeter. 6 millimeter, I place a 7 by 6. Still, a lot of bones, inner bones on the buccal side, buccal and lingual side. And then, this is the result after 6 years. Even after 6 years, this implant has no bone crest of bone loss, and there's more bone on the top, on the apex. And this is another case. So you get these 2 implants is only 5 millimeter in length, and 7 millimeter, 6.5 millimeter in diameters. And it has more than 20 millimeter height of a crown. Crown implant ratio is more than 4:1. Everybody has doubt. Can this implant survive for a long time? Yes, I can say yes now. I had many cases of rest implants, short rest implants, especially on the maxillary posterior area. So this case was has 6 years and almost now 7 years result without no crystal bone loss. Of course, we should take care of occlusion very carefully. Not low occlusion. So, sinus or short implants. Yeah. When I introduced short implant concepts, actually this is the shortest one, still shortest one in the world. Before this, the bicone implant insisted they are the shortest. But the shortest one they had was 5.7. Now they are producing 5. But to place short bicone implants, 5 millimeter short bicone implants, you should have at least 7 millimeter or 8 millimeter in vertical height, because they don't have initial stability. They cannot make initial stability. The thread is not thread, just a fin. So it cannot make initial stability by screwing down. But this is 5 millimeter, very short. So nobody believed. I showed many clinical cases. They didn't believe it. But after publishing this book 2 years before, in 2010, they start to believe. This book had 144 clinical cases, followed up to 6 years, and not only by me, with two of my friends and 23 contributors from the world. So, I can try this. So they are saying now, even in the United States. The short implant is very popular, becoming more and more popular. I have confidence with the 6 millimeter rescue implants on the sinus, under the sinus. If the patient has 6 millimeter vertical height and the wide ridge, so don't use sinus bone graft. Just place 6 millimeter short implants. 5 millimeter, I had many 5 millimeter cases, but not enough yet. I need some year more to show you the evidence. But on the mandible, 5 by 5 is very nice, very strong, because of bone density. 5 by 5, I have confidence. So, if you have a chance, try short implants. And in some countries, especially in Europe, this Malo or full implant concept is becoming very popular. Why? We have to place implants like this. Is to minimize the cantilever to the posterior, right? We want to minimize the cantilevering as short as possible. And we want to make more and more teeth on the fixed prosthetics. But why we have to use like this? I will place 4 implants straightly between mental foramen, and we'll use 2 short implants more on the posterior. It's very easy to make prosthetics. Is it easy to place implants like this? Very difficult. You have to have a surgical stent also, very precise surgical stent, or you can damage nerve. So, but if you can use short implants, no need to worry about it. Just place short implants. About this case, patient wants to save the anteriors, but on the posterior, the bone was only 7 millimeter to 9 millimeter from the top to the nerve. What kind of implant system we can use in this case? How many millimeter length? 7 millimeter. We should leave at least 2 millimeter for the safety jump. So we can use the longest one we can use in this area will be 5 millimeter in height only. We have a 5. Don't worry. Malo users will insist you should extract all teeth, and I will place 4 implants like this, and then you will have fixed prosthetics. Why? No, I will not extract your teeth. I will save the anterior teeth and place 4 implants like this without any advanced surgeries. Very simple. And these implants, shoulder implants, can protect the anterior from the trauma from occlusion. So the anterior teeth is becoming stronger and stronger. So that's our concept of implants. We developed all the implant system like this. What not easy? That's why the result from here to here changed. So we did a good job with this kind of implant systems. From the narrowest 1.6 in diameter. 1.6 in diameter is like a meter. But it's useful sometimes. 2.0, 2.5, 3.1 to 6 to 8 millimeter rescue implants. From 1.6 to 8 millimeter. Use variety of diameters, and from 5 to 13, 15. So we made every kind of implant system. Even it can be used only for one patient. Yeah, it was good to me. It was good for our group, but every dentist didn't like this. They should have all kinds of surgical systems and such many stacks. It was not good. So we started to think, yes, we need something more to make everything simpler. So we started to think from the beginning, from the start, without any memories of the development. This was the question that we started with. What we needed to consider in implant dentistry? What we have to prepare? Of course, the prosthetics should be our goal. Crown and occlusion is more important than surgery, actually. Why we are placing implants? Is to make crowns, beautiful crowns, very functioning crowns, right? And to support those prosthetics, surgery is very, very important. We should understand the implant pictures, implant systems, as well as surgical surrounding bone also. And then, for the maintenance, this area is very, very important. All the complications start in this area. Periimplantitis, fractures, screw loosening start in this area. Connection and transgingival tissues. So we should take care of all of these. Prosthetic is very, very important. We should understand the occlusion concepts, individual patients. We should understand, we should check their habits. This prosthetic was made by my friend, Dr. Lee. Let's see. These two are implant prosthetics. Really nice, right? I cannot make this kind of result. It's good. And his concept of occlusion is like this. So at the beginning, when I learned implants from my teacher in 1989. Every teacher told me, you should have no contacts. You should have less contacts on the implant prosthetics because implant doesn't have perio space. So if you put on same occlusal contacts like this, so the implant prosthetics will have more occlusal force than the natural tooth, and eventually the implant will be failed. But nowadays we found it's wrong. It's wrong. We should put more occlusal contacts on the implant prosthetics, and then these implant prosthetics can protect natural tooth from TFO. So I have many experience. Usually, because I'm a periodontist, I have many patients with mobile teeth, and some of their teeth extracted and placed implants, and I made a final restoration. A little bit under occlusion, and most of the occlusal force focused on the neighbors, adjacent tooth. And then those tooths failed. And it's good to me. I can place one more implants. I'm going to make another prosthetics. And then same occlusion with the previous implant prosthetics. And then the next one, the next natural tooth, start to shake and fail. Place implants. And eventually, all teeth were gone. And I had a full mouth implant prosthetics. How can I control the occlusion? I cannot escape from occlusal force. So we failed. Our group failed. It was wrong. Nowadays, we do more force, more occlusal contacts than natural tooth. Implant is just implants, artificial. We can change it if it has problem. But natural tooth, we cannot save. So, today, it's different topics. Summarized like this. The surgery, implant. So for the surgery, we should understand the implant fixture, implant system, and the surrounding bone. For the surgery, two important things we have. The first one is initial stability. We should have initial stability, and we want to have a faster observations to minimize the gaps and the period of no teeth. And initial stability is related with the microstructure, the shape of the implants. The osseointegration is related with microstructures, surface treatments. Which one is, both of them are very important, but if you need to choose only one, what is important, more important? What you want to choose? To me, microstructure is much more important than microstructure. As you know, the machined surface, titanium, can be integrated with time. So microstructure is much more important. So that's why on the new implant systems, we changed our mind to make this kind of thread design. It's very unique, very sharp. It's like a knife rather than axe. The conventional thread design has 60 degrees triangular design. Well, this is just like a knife. If you hold the AnyRidge too hard on your finger, between your finger, you can be hurt. And of course, this is strong enough during placement. So don't worry about the breakage of the thread during placement. And after designing this thread, we recognized the benefits. Increases cutting efficiency. Even there's no cutting edges. We don't need cutting edge. The thread itself can cut the bone easily, and excellent initial stability. in any case, any kind of bone density, even type 4 bone, you need to use a wrench, even in type 4 bone, and increase the resistance to compressive force because of, instead of the oblique surface, so we have more platter thread surface, and minimize cross of surface, and the higher BIC can fasten the oscillation. And insertion torque at the loose bone, like D4 bone, we have many clinical cases, many tests. When we developed the rescue implants, so according to the increase of diameters, the force, the insertion torque increased a little bit more, but it was good at the time. But with AnyRidge, insertion torque was incredibly high. It's like a normal bone, 35, you need 35 to 40, even sometimes 40 Newton centimeters to place these implants. It's very nice, like mandibular cases. So I'd like to show you this case. So how efficient this the design of AnyRidge, the thread design of AnyRidge. So patient had already 5 implants, and he wants to have implants on this area. But as you see, on X-ray and the clinical photos, the tuberosity went down too much. So we have to cut this much bone to re-establish the vertical height in the occlusion distance. So we have to cut this one, no way. And after opening the flap, I trimmed the ridge to make it the ideal shape. And then, can you imagine the bone density on this area? I removed all the cortical bones from the top. Just a very, very soft trabecular bone only remained. So you can say this is a typical type 4 bone. So you can push, you can feel the softness of the bone. It looks like a sponge. So can we do implants immediately in this case? Yes, we can do. And how long we should wait? Usually we wait 6 months on the soft bone. And how long we should wait in this case? You want to use HA-coated implants? HA-coated implant is good for at the beginning, for some years. But suddenly, I have many experience. It has it starts to show the bone distortions, like a bone. 6, 7, 8 years later, I lost many HA-coated implants. In this case, how long we should wait with the regular love surface, like IBM or SLA surface implants? How long? 6 months? Would be enough? So, because of the wideness of the ridge, I use a tripline to make osteotomy circuits and place the 2 7 by 8.5 AnyRidge implants. These 2 are same diameters, but as you see, it looks very different, right? Because of the shape. During placement, it is very wide, but after placement, after finishing placement, it goes down to leave only smaller flat bone. You can save bone on the lingual side. And then I placed bone graft material to cover the bone defects and made the primary closure like this. And how long we should wait? Only 3 months. Same with mandible, because I had a really nice initial stability. Why we do prosthetic procedure on the mandible in 3 months? Why we should wait 6 months on the maxillary? It's because of difference in initial stability. It's because of difference in initial bone contents with the implant surface with bone. So if you can make similar or same initial stability, same bone contents, when we place implant, we don't need to wait longer. Just, yes, this was just after surgery, 2010, January 23rd. And so almost 2.5 months later, I did second stage surgery, and after healing, I delivered the temporary and I finished the case after 1 month use of temporary crown. Similar case, if you can make initial stability in soft bone, so you can do immediate loading more frequently. So this patient was only 40-something years old lady with a job. See, she needed temporary immediately after surgery, not on the posterior. She wants to have temporaries on the premolar area. So when I do this, after extractions, I waited 1 month because of severe inflammations. See, the ridge was these conditions. Here, socket, you can see socket defects. And still, the soft tissue condition was not good enough. But anyway, we need to start as soon as possible. After opening the plan, see how wide the ridge. The vertical height was not enough. But I like to use short implants, as you know. It's a 4 millimeter diameter trifine I used on the posterior area. As you see, I love to perforate the Schneiderite membrane instead of rate lifting. So because I know the height of the remaining bone. If patient has more than 6 millimeter vertical height, I usually perforate the sinus membrane. It's very simple. You don't need to scary about the preparations and complications. Just go through the membrane, easy to drill, and then we can use short implants. No, without any bone graft procedures. At the 40 Newton centimeter set of torque of handpiece, we can place implants to this level. Even it has a very short height, limited height. Yes, the handpiece stopped at this level, and I use the wrench to place it down. See, during placement, it looks like this. After placement, it disappeared. All the thread disappeared without disturbing the crestal bone. And the wide thread can withstand the occlusion force more efficiently. And then I can connect healing abutments and the temporal cylinder immediately because I can control. I had excellent initial stability. Why we have to make primary closure? Then, on the other side, the right side, see how big the extraction socket is, the adopting plan, degranulation, the refined, the same area. But as you see, the remaining bone on this socket, huge bone destruction. And the remaining bone was only 3 millimeter. Only 3 millimeter up below the sinus bone, sinus floor. See? Can we make initial stability in this case? Absolutely. Absolutely. With a little bit one thread longer, wide diameter implants, so I made initial stability. Very nice initial stability actually. I have to use ratchet wrench to place it down to the adequate vertical height. And still I have bone defects, but I can use any kind of bone graft material, and I use the reusable membrane to do one-stage surgery. I connected the healing abutments and the temporal cylinder. And then I prepared the temporal cylinder with high-speed whirl. Easy to deliver temporary crown immediately. Of course, this temporary has no occlusion contents. And the plastic cylinder is very easy to be broken. Whenever it has occlusion force, or by changing the hard goods, it will be broken to protect the fixture. Right? 1 week later, looks good. Yes, this is just after surgery. And see, 1 week later, 1 month later, and 2 months later, I do impressions. This is impression copying, as you see. And 3 months, I place the temporary crowns on the posterior implants. 3 months. You remember the huge socket defects. I placed xenograft and allograft, not autogenous, with the resolvable membrane. It's a simple technique. Everybody can do this. But see, bone is growing up easily. See, to this level. There was only 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter. Only 2 threads was engaged. But see, bone is growing up to this level. And more to this level. And so whenever I show this kind of clinical cases, they ask me, yes, can we have a complete bone peeling to the bottom of the thread in this depth? The depth is more than 1.5. 1.5 is huge. It's very deep. Not all right. As you see on the X-ray, see, there's no gap between bone and the implant surface already. Even it is in the stage of impression, 2 months later, or 3 months later. No gap, complete bone peeling, no black shadows on the implant surface. So there's some secrets. You have to understand the surgical techniques, how to place, how to choose the adequate diameters of AnyRidge implants. Let's say this is one different kind of bone density, bone types. D1, D2, D3, D4. So in the past, we usually use the different diameter of implants according to the bone density. But what we had, we couldn't control the initial stability because of bone density. It's because every implant system has the same thread design. Instead, on the AnyRidge implant system, we changed the thread depth only. We fixed the core diameters, and then the only difference is the thread depth. So every implant system, implant fixtures from 4.0 to 5.5 will have the same core with a different thread depth. So you can control initial stability with a different depth. So it's just samples, not exactly in the clinical cases, but concept is like this: same core diameter, different thread depth. So, and what can be happen? Yes, we can compare with the conventional thread design and bone peel with AnyRidge. And the conventional triangular thread design usually engage with bone to the half of the thread depth. So usually the triangular thread has a 0.6 millimeter in height and 0.6 millimeter in depth. And only 3 or 0.3 millimeter of thread will be engaged with bone to have initial stability. And then the other part will be filled with bone, new regenerated bone with time. So we need 3 months. Sometimes we need 6 months to wait this bone filling. But on the AnyRidge, already the bone is contacting with the body of the pictures. So let's say this is D1, very dense bone. So you don't need to use a deeper thread. Just the body itself can make initial stability because of density. And then if you have a less bone density, you can increase the thread depth only. So always you have a bone context here to the bottom of the thread. So no need to worry about the bone filling to the depth. See? So sometimes you can see complete the bone context from the beginning. But we can have some different kind of situations. Let's see, it looks loose, right? And after the flap, the diameter, the width of the ridge was really unique, even from first molar to second molar. It looks very even. And I prefer to use a trip line to make a simple osteotomy sockets, made two osteotomy sockets. But you can feel different bone density according to the locations. So in this case, the first molar has type 3, higher bone density. The second molar has a looser than first molar. Type 4, it was the type 3, type 4. I made the same osteotomy sockets. If I use this combination of different regular implant systems, I should use the same diameter of implants, right? And I will feel different concept, different style of initial stability. And then I should follow the worst case. But in this case, I can control the initial stability according to the bone density, even through the same diameter of osteotomy. So on the first molar, I decided to use 6.5. This area, I use 8 millimeter diameter implants without any further drilling. So for the first molar, this is 6.5. For the second molar, 8.5 to the same screw, same osteotomy sockets. So during placement, it looks like this. Very limited buccal and lingual bone, but after placement, yes, it was recovered. The socket, because it has same core diameter. See? And then how long I need to wait in this case? How long I should wait? Only 3 months. 3 months is enough. I made temporary. The finished case. And follow. Of course, we need to follow. We need to have a follow, longer follow. But anyway, it's until so far, in my experience, it's very nice. No need to wait longer. We can adjust. We can produce initial stability. But in some cases, like extraction sockets, so we can have big bone defects. So in this case, so we cannot engage bone to the depth. So we should wait the bone filling. So we did the animal studies. So in the rabbit, it's a rabbit. In the rabbit, 4 weeks is almost 4 months, 3 months in human. So in 4 weeks, the bone was filled to the bottom. So it's very attractive. The sole piece is very attractive to the bone, so no need to worry about the bone peeling. So from here to here, it took 4 weeks. And we made almost the same spears on each depth. on every depth of the thread. So let's go to the bottom a bit more. So I can finish in 5 minutes before lunch. So most implant system has cutting edge, as you know, to cut the bone during replacement. We call is self-tapping. Self-tapping is important to make better initial stability and better cutting. I'm sorry, my for English. But in the healed ridge, there is no difference. But on the extraction sockets, we have to choose this pathway to place implants. You know? This phase is important. But if you have implant systems with a cutting edge like this, during the placement of implants, whenever the cutting edge meets the bone, it can be tilted. And it has a resistance. And sometimes it can be placed to too much labial. So only the expert, only experienced dentists can control this kind of happenings. 1 millimeter difference can make a big change at the result. But if we use the cutting edge list, AnyRidge without cutting edge, it will follow the osteotomy socket exactly the same, with excellent initial stability, of course. So, as in the immediate anterior cases, we usually recommend to use 5 millimeter longer implants than extraction sockets, right? At the extraction. So, compare with the extracted root length. Everybody recommend to use a little bit longer implants to make what? To make initial stability. But if we use AnyRidge, no need to do that. Just choose the same length. You will have a really nice initial stability. So look at this. I placed implant almost the same length, 10 millimeter long only. Of course, you can use 13, 14, 15 long implants if you want. And then the result was fantastic. No need to place, no need to drill deeper into the sound bone. And because of this design, unlike this, sharp, no cutting edge, it is a very nice matching. It is matching with the ridge split techniques. Dr. Hui showed the efficiency of ridge split techniques. It's very fast for the regeneration and less complications, of course. But if you want to use this kind of implants, you have to use ridge split tools before placing implants. You need to make holes, enough expansions before placing implants. But AnyRidge can make sockets by itself. I will show you one case. So the patient was 79 years old, female. Of course, she was very healthy, already old. In this case, do you want to use GBR techniques or autogenous bone grafting techniques? No, I don't want to use. But vertically, she has enough height. But unfortunately, she has very limited bone width. And the conventional piezo was good, but not enough good. So we developed a very thin braid with a new piezo machine, and to reach to the full depth of the implant length. So this is very thin, so you can cut without medial and the distal cut. Yes. Sometimes we need to make vertical cuts, even with AnyRidge. But in most of the case, in my experience, you don't need to make vertical cuts. If you cut here, the whole ridge will be broken, easy to broken, and this area will be open like this. it's not easy to control the sharp edges and the soft tissue management. Just a cut to the depth of implant. If you want to place 10 millimeter long implants, you can do. You can cut 10 millimeter of bone with piezo. And then I made drilling with only 2 millimeter drill, only 2 millimeter. This is 2 millimeter diameter hole. And then this is new piezo, cheap, stronger, more efficient. And I started to place implant, AnyRidge implants. It's a handpiece, set 40 Newton centimeter, stopped at this level. But if you have stuck the implants like this on the normal bone, so you should enlarge the osteotomy circuit further and then try again. But it was cut with piezo, and I used the ratchet wrench, 90 degrees on each implant. Again and again, again. It goes down, fully inserted, and from the top, the ridge expanded, expanded, and expanded without broken cortical bone. Okay? From here to here, without vertical cuts. It's because of the shape, macro shape, design of the implants, and without cutting edge. So, but if you place only one implant or two implants, it's not easy. You have to cut. You have to have vertical cuts. But 3 or more teeth, no need to make vertical cuts. But you have to cut deep implant length deep with piezo machine. So I put the allograft and plate resolve membrane with primary closure. So far, has no complications. And one more theory is on the top here. The implant systems we are using, the typical implant system we are using. This is extra implants. This is normal active, which has a very aggressive thread here, very fine micro thread here. For the ridge split techniques, the top, this area, the stress on the top is very important because it expands. We will expand the bone very widely. But because of design, so the AnyRidge will have a much less stress on the top. This is one more thing. Too much stress can destroy the cortical bone. So the first 1 millimeter of the cortical bone will have much less, more than half bone stress with AnyRidge. So, okay, get this, same procedure. So how long we should wait? 3 months will be done before temporary, and then you can see very stable crystal bone. Okay, thank you very much. During the lunchtime, if you have any questions, thank you. So I try to, if you have questions, I can have 1 or 2 before lunch. Okay, let's have lunch. Thank you very much.